Welcome back to the channel. Today we're counting down the top 8 most valuable Monticello Jefferson nickel coins that are worth big bucks in today's market. You might just have one of these gems in your collection, so stick around. First up, the 1983 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark. You may not think much of this nickel at first glance, but in today's auction market, it's got a lot to offer. Let's start with the basics. The 1983 Jefferson nickel, just like all of the nickels in the Jefferson series, features a classic design. On the obverse, you'll find a portrait of Thomas Jefferson designed by artist Felix Schlag. This image of Jefferson has been used on the nickel since 1938 and is one of the most recognizable features of the series. On the reverse, we have the Monticello building, Jefferson's home, beautifully depicted with the words E pluribus unum and 5 cents. This design also dates back to the early days of the nickel, with small updates made over time. Now, let's talk about the P mint mark. The P mint mark on the 1983 Jefferson nickel indicates that it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. While Philadelphia has been home to the U.S. Mint since its inception, what makes this coin more interesting is the fact that the P mint mark wasn't used on coins until 1980. Before the 1980s, U.S. coins were typically minted with either no mint mark or with mint marks, such as D for Denver and S for San Francisco. But starting in 1980, coins struck in Philadelphia began to bear the P mint mark for the first time in history. This makes coins from this era, like the 1983 nickel, a unique part of numismatic history. So what makes the 1983 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel special in the auction market today? Well, first and foremost, it's the overall condition of the coin. We're talking about a coin in fine condition, which means it shows moderate wear, but still retains good detail. In fine condition, the image of Jefferson will still be clear, though you might notice some wear on the high points of the coin, such as his cheek, the lettering, and around Monticello on the reverse. The coin's sharpness and legibility are key factors in its value. As of today, a 1983 Jefferson nickel in fine condition with the P mint mark can typically sell for anywhere between $78,000 in an auction setting. While that may not sound like a huge amount, it's still a solid premium compared to its face value, and it reflects the collector's market demand for coins in this series, especially those with the unique mint mark. So why do collectors value this specific coin? It's not just about the design or the mint mark, it's also about the historical context. The introduction of the P mint mark on coins struck in Philadelphia added a new layer of interest to modern American coinage. Collectors love having pieces from this transitional time. Next up, the 1951 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark. More specifically, we're going to talk about the value of this coin in fine condition and what makes it so special in today's auction market. So, grab your magnifying glass because we're about to explore a coin that's been captivating collectors for decades. Let's start with the basics. The 1951 Jefferson nickel was minted as part of the regular circulation coinage and features two key design elements that collectors love: the iconic Monticello building on the reverse side and the portrait of Thomas Jefferson III, President of the United States, on the obverse. The coin was struck in nickel, and it's part of the long-running series that began in 1938. Now, let's talk about the condition. The coin we're focusing on today is in fine condition. This means that the coin shows moderate wear, but its design details are still visible. You'll notice some softness in the features of Jefferson's portrait, and the Monticello building will show some wear, but it remains distinguishable. In this state, it's far from a perfect coin, but it still carries significant collector value. First, the overall demand for 1950s-era Jefferson nickels. These coins, while not rare, do attract attention due to their historical significance and the unique design elements associated with the series. But the D mint mark makes this specific year even more intriguing to collectors, as it's one of the coins from the Denver Mint that has seen a steady increase in value over the years. Now, let's talk about recent auction results. The value of this coin can fluctuate depending on the auction house and the level of interest from bidders, but in recent years, we've seen 1951 Jefferson nickels with the D mint mark in fine condition sell anywhere from $66,000 on average. Of course, if the coin is in better condition, say in very fine or higher, it can fetch a much higher price. Now, let's talk about why this coin holds such an appeal for collectors. The 1951 Jefferson nickel is not just a piece of history, it's also an affordable entry point for new collectors looking to start their collections. The combination of the simple yet elegant design, the historical significance of Jefferson and Monticello, and the relatively low cost of acquiring a fine condition 1951 nickel makes it a perfect addition to any collection. Next up, the 2014 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel, specifically focusing on the versions featuring the P mint mark. We'll explore its historical significance, how it's valued in today's auction market, and what makes it a must-have for collectors. So, let's get started. The 2014 Jefferson nickel is part of the famous Monticello series, which has been in circulation since 1938. On the obverse, we see the iconic profile of Thomas Jefferson III, President of the United States, designed by Felix Schlag. The reverse features an image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, a symbol of American history and architecture. The P mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. In 2014, the U.S. Mint produced approximately 75 million Jefferson nickels. While that may seem like a significant number, many of these coins circulated widely, leading to wear and tear. Coins in good condition, especially those with P mint mark, are becoming increasingly sought after as collectors appreciate finding coins that have survived in better quality. To understand the value of the 2014 Monticello nickel, we must consider its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to perfect mint state, MS. In today's market, good condition usually refers to coins that show some wear but still retain clear details and features. A coin in good condition can fetch a price that significantly surpasses its face value. Now, let's talk numbers. The current auction market for a 2014 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark in good condition typically ranges from $2,000. However, coins that exhibit higher quality, those graded fine or very fine, can command prices upwards of $4,000, depending on the buyer's interest. As collectors seek to complete their sets, even common coins can see price increases. To get a sense of the market's pulse, I spoke with several collectors and coin dealers. Many emphasized the importance of condition, but also pointed out that certain years and mint marks can lead to surprising values. Collectors appreciate the 2014 Jefferson nickel for its design and historical significance, making it a popular choice among both novice and experienced numismatists. If you're interested in adding a 2014 Monticello nickel to your collection, there are several avenues to explore. Local coin shops, online marketplaces like eBay, and specialized auction sites can offer opportunities to buy and sell. Always ensure to check the seller's reputation and the coin's grading to make informed decisions. Next up, 1983 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark in fine condition. What is its value in today's auction market? Stick around because we're going to break it down for you. Let's start with a little background on the Jefferson nickel. The 5-cent coin has been part of America's currency since 1938, and the 1983 Jefferson nickel is a part of this iconic series. The design features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the Monticello, his historic home in Virginia, on the reverse. The 1983 nickel wasn't a year of major design changes. However, it's important to note that in 1982 and 1983, the U.S. Mint struck nickels with a new composition, shifting from the traditional 75% copper, 25% nickel blend, which gives these coins their distinct look and feel. Now let's talk about that all-important P mint mark. The 1983 nickel is particularly significant because it was one of the first years the Philadelphia Mint began adding a mint mark on their coins. Prior to 1980, coins minted in Philadelphia did not have a mint mark, but starting in 1980, the mint mark P was added to coins produced there. The 1983 nickel with the P mint mark is one of the few years where this mark stands out, making it a popular choice for collectors. In the coin world, the condition of a coin plays a huge role in determining its value. When we say the coin is in fine condition, what do we mean? Well, a coin in fine condition will show some moderate wear, but the details on the coin, especially on the design, will still be visible and clear. For example, Jefferson's profile will still be discernible, but there might be light scratches or wear along the high points, such as his cheek and the tips of his hair. Now let's get to the big question. How much is this 1983 Monticello nickel with P mint mark worth in today's auction market? If you have a fine condition 1983 Jefferson nickel, you can expect to see it valued between $29,000 in most auction settings, depending on demand, but there's always a chance it could fetch a little more if it stands out due to rarity or unique characteristics. Factors like mintage numbers, condition, and even the auction platform can impact the final value. For example, a well-preserved nickel that stands out in a graded slab can command a higher price. If the nickel is part of a specialized collection or sought after by specific collectors, it can go for more than the usual value. Looking to buy or sell a 1983 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel? You can check out major online auction platforms like eBay or visit local coin shops. For a more specialized approach, attending coin shows or even consulting with professional dealers can help you gauge the market and get the best possible value. So there you have it. The 1983 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark is a neat piece of history with a modest yet consistent market value, especially if it's in fine condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on these little gems. If you have any of these coins in your collection, check out their condition and see what they might fetch at auction. Next up, the 1990 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel with a large date and D mint mark but in dirty condition. We'll discuss how much this coin can be worth in today's auction market, why it holds value, and what makes it stand out among other nickels. So let's get started. First off, let's talk a little bit about the 1990 Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been in circulation since 1938, and it features the likeness of Thomas Jefferson III, President of the United States. The reverse side of the coin shows Monticello Jefferson's estate in Virginia, which is the iconic symbol for this series. In 1990, the United States Mint produced a number of Jefferson nickels, and this coin was part of the standard circulation issue. However, one thing that sets it apart in the world of numismatics is the large date variety. If you look closely at the date, you'll notice the 9 and the 0 are noticeably larger compared to the standard variety. This gives the 1990 large date nickel a unique characteristic that collectors tend to look for. Now let's add another layer to this, the mint mark. Mint marks tell us where a coin was produced. In this case, we're talking about the D mint mark, which means it was struck at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint is one of the US Mint's most active facilities, and coins produced here are often sought after by collectors for their specific minting details. While a dirty or grimy coin may not have the sharp, crisp details we often associate with high-value numismatics, it doesn't mean the coin is worthless. In fact, the value of the coin largely depends on how much collectors are willing to pay for that specific version, even if it's not in pristine condition. So, let's talk about value. In today's auction market, the value of the 1990 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel with the large date and D mint mark in dirty condition can range from around $44,000, depending on the severity of the dirt, tarnish, or wear. While this isn't a high-value coin like a rare 1913 Liberty-haired nickel, the 1990 large-date nickels still have a small following of collectors who are after specific mint marks or variations. Typically, nickels in dirty condition may be on the lower end of the value spectrum. But if there's something particularly unique about the dirt or damage, perhaps it has some interesting environmental wear, or even a slight error, the price could edge up a bit higher. However, don't expect it to skyrocket. These coins are still relatively affordable and remain collectible due to their historic design and minting year. Now, you might be tempted to clean up that dirty coin to improve its appearance, but hold on. Cleaning a coin can actually decrease its value, especially for collectors who prefer original, unaltered coins. The dirt and tarnish that accumulate on a coin can sometimes tell a story about its journey through time, and cleaning it could strip away some of its charm. So, to sum it all up, the 1990 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel with a large date and D mint mark in dirty condition isn't going to break the bank, but it still holds value in today's auction market. While the price won't be astronomical if you're a collector or investor, it could be worth picking up as part of your collection.
Next up, the 2000 Monticello Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark. If you're a coin collector, you might be wondering what's the current value of this coin in today's market. Well, in this video, we'll break it down for you and explore its value in good condition as of now. So let's get started. The Monticello nickel is part of the Jefferson nickel series, which was first introduced in 1938. The obverse side features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, designed by Felix Schlag. This particular coin from the year 2000 commemorates Jefferson nickel Monticello, located in Virginia, which is depicted on the reverse side of the coin. The 2000 edition was part of the regular minting, with the familiar de mint mark denoting it was produced at the Denver, mint mark denoting it was produced at the Denver Mint. In numismatic terms, good condition refers to a coin that shows moderate wear. The details of the coin's design, such as Jefferson's features and Monticello's structure, are still discernible, but there may be some light scratches or minor discoloration. The coin may not have the sharpness or lustrous finish of higher grade specimens, but it's still in decent shape for collectors and investors alike. Now, when it comes to the value of the 2000 Jefferson nickel in good condition, you might be surprised to learn that it holds more value than just its face value of 5 cents. In today's auction market, the 2000 Monticello nickel with the D mint mark in good condition typically ranges between $29,000. It's also worth noting that the market for US coins can fluctuate, and rare variations, or those in higher grades, can significantly affect the value. For instance, if this coin were in higher conditions, such as fine or extremely fine, it could be worth more, while nickels with unique errors or other variations often see their values soar. One key factor in determining the value of a coin at auction is demand certain years, or mints, might be more sought after by collectors. In general, the 2000 Monticello nickel, with the D mint mark, doesn't have any major errors or exceptional qualities that would cause its value to skyrocket. However, the coin is still an important part of us history and a great addition to any collection, especially for those who focus on Jefferson nickels. Next, up the 2000 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel with D mint mark, and it's in dirty condition. You're in for a treat. Let's break down the value of this coin in today's auction market. Stay tuned. First, let's take a moment to appreciate the history behind this coin. The Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel, first issued in 1930, is part of a long-running design that celebrates Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. The obverse of the coin shows a portrait of Jefferson designed by Felix Schlag, and on the reverse, we see an image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, which is where the coin gets its name. Now, you might be wondering, why would dirty condition affect the coin's value? Dirty or tarnished coins are often avoided by collectors because the dirt or corrosion can obscure details and decrease the appeal of the coin. This happens when the coin has been exposed to dirt, oil, or even environmental factors like humidity or smog, which leave marks or a grimy layer on the surface. Let's talk about the value. In general, a 2000 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel in circulated condition with the D mint mark might only be worth its face value, just 5 cents if it's in dirty or worn condition. However, if you find one in a higher grade, or if it's part of a special error or rare finding, it could fetch more on the market. For a nickel like this in dirty condition, collectors would generally value it based on the state of preservation. A coin that's heavily tarnished or grimy will typically only be worth around $13,000. But there's a twist. If this coin is part of a special batch with unusual characteristics, say a die error or a slight misprint, it could rise in value despite its dirty appearance. While it might seem tempting to clean this coin, it's important to note that cleaning a coin can actually decrease its value in the eyes of some collectors. Cleaning can scratch the surface and permanently damage its patina, which reduces its overall appeal. So, if you have this coin in a dirty state, it's often best to leave it as is, unless it's a special case where cleaning might enhance its features. Another thing to consider when evaluating the coin's worth is the auction market. While a nickel in dirty condition generally won't fetch hundreds of dollars, there are always exceptions. If you come across an auction listing for this specific coin in its dirty state, keep an eye out for any unusual patterns in bidding. Sometimes collectors with a particular interest in this type of coin or its era may push the price higher. Next, examine the level of wear and tear. A coin that's been heavily circulated and is very dirty will have reduced value, but one that's still in decent condition might be worth a bit more. Finally, check the market, compare auction prices, visit online coin shops, and see what others are selling similar coins for. To wrap it up, the 2000 Monticello Jefferson nickel with D mint mark in dirty condition may not be a high dollar coin on its own, but it's not worthless either. Keep an eye on its potential, and remember that coin collecting is all about finding value in the unexpected. Whether you're looking to sell or just learning more about your collection, always check the market and the coin's condition carefully. Next up, the 1979 Monticello Jefferson nickel with D era mint mark, especially when it's in fine condition. We'll dive into its history, its unique era, and most importantly, its value in today's auction market. So, let's get started. The 1979 Jefferson nickel is part of the famous Monticello series, which has been in circulation since 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, it features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the image of Jefferson's home Monticello on the reverse. This coin is already iconic, but what makes the 1979 version even more interesting is a rare error found on some of the coins, specifically the D error mint mark. Now, for some context, the mint mark on these coins indicates where they were struck. The D error mint mark stands for the Denver Mint. However, in some 1979 Jefferson nickels, a minting error occurred where the D error mint mark was incorrectly placed or struck, resulting in a distinctive flaw that collectors are eager to get their hands on. However, the rarity of the mint mark error isn't the only factor influencing its value. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in its market. Worth the coin we're discussing today is in fine condition, which is important because the grading of this coin affects its price. So let's talk about what fine condition really means. In coin grading, fine refers to a coin that has clear details but shows noticeable wear. On a 1979 Jefferson nickel, in fine condition, you should still be able to see the facial features of Thomas Jefferson and the outline of Monticello on the reverse, while the details aren't as sharp as in uncirculated or mint state coins. They are still well defined. Now let's get to the good part. The value of the 1979 Monticello Jefferson nickel with D error mint mark in fine condition can fetch quite a price on the auction market. In today's market, coins are often valued anywhere between $58,000, depending on the severity of the error and its overall appeal. Some even sell for higher prices if there are multiple errors or if the coin is part of a rare find. So what does this mean for you as a collector or investor if you come across a 1979 Jefferson nickel with D error mint mark, especially in fine condition? Don't overlook it. It could be worth significantly more than its face value, and with demand for error coins rising, it might just be the perfect addition to your collection. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more coin tips